Well, good evening, everybody. This is Dave up from Michigan here. I'd like to first of all say I commend all of you for being in boot camp, and I commend Bob and Shirley and the personal trainers there and their endeavor to help you to become proactive in your health. And that's really what it's all about, is you have to become proactive in your own health and your own body. You've got to take charge. If you don't, somebody else will. I'm going to say a few things in this clip here, and it may, hopefully it does cause you to think. But one of the first things I want to tell you is it's unprofitable for you to be healthy. And people cannot make much money off of you if you are proactive and you're healthy. And that's what this is all about. And so I want you to know that it is a battle to maintain a proactive, healthy lifestyle. And so when you talk about malnutrition, many times I walk through the stores and I see all this abundance of food supply that's in America. I mean, think about it. Our shelves are loaded with food. How can we be so sick? And the main thing I can tell you in this clip is it's because most of the food that we eat is dead. It's over-processed food, and the main reason they over-process the food is so that it can have a long shelf life. The longer the shelf life the food has, the more chance it has to being bought. A very famous man in the scripture once said, the love of money. Money isn't, but the love of money is the root of all evil. And for the sake of money, they pulverize our foods. They add chemicals to it. Many times, some of these chemicals are highly addictive. And they put it on the shelf so that it will stay on that shelf for long periods of time so that it can be bought eventually by somebody. I remember a story about somebody that had some Twinkies, and they were at a health show, and somebody said, well, what is that on your shelf? And they said, well, we had these Twinkies. And they said, well, why do you have Twinkies at a health show? He said, well, we're doing an experiment. We want to know how long these Twinkies stay fresh. And they said, well, how long have you had them? Well, they said 15 years. And, you know, so the Twinkies were in perfectly good shape 15 years later. And even to this day, people still don't know all the ingredients that are in Twinkies. If you take McDonald's food and you leave it out, you can see some clips on YouTube. Just type in McDonald's year-old hamburger, and there are people who actually do these experiments. They take these burgers and they leave them out, and they look the same way as they bought them on the first day. And so we are putting foods in our body, and our body consists of 100 trillion living cells. Living cells. That means our bodies require living foods. And so the depth of the food problem, malnutrition problem in America really goes even all the way to the farming too, is that our lands are being overfarmed. And with our lands being overfarmed, that means they're trying to get 2, sometimes 3 yields in 1 year in the land. And so they pump fertilizers and pesticides into the land, and our plants come up. Sure, they look like a piece of corn, but they're lacking valuable vitamins and nutrients that 100 years ago our foods had, and there wasn't a big problem with getting many of our nutrients because the food had it. But now they're coming up waning, and that's why a lot of people talk, a lot of nutritionists, not just people, say that you need to supplement even if you're doing organic because of this lack of nutrients in our food. And so you have to think of food as the same way you think about putting gas in your car. I mean, think about it. Some people take care of their car better than they take care of their own body. They shine it, they wax it, they put, you know, all kinds of, oh, God forbid they get a little bit of water in their gas because it'll make the engine spark and it won't. I mean, and then think about it. The food you eat is the fuel for your body. So the old adage that we heard as youth, garbage in, garbage out. I mean, you can't continually feed your body with dead, pulverized additives of chemicals, over-processed foods, and expect it to live. The law of reaping and sowing says eventually it's going to break down, just like your car. And so here we are, is we've got to come to the place of understanding that what you put in your body, someday it's going to come out. But the miracle is in the body. If you put the good things in your body, the results will be that it will renew itself and it will rebuild itself. And you can have a vital, living, dynamic life. So I want you to understand, ignorance is not bliss. Think about that. Ignorance is not bliss. Remain proactive. Learn about these high fructose corn syrup. Learn about hydrogenated oils. Learn about what refined sugar does to your body. These things are destroyers. They are not good for your body. Avoid them. Make better choices. That's what we're talking about. And so today, I just want to say, listen closely, remain proactive, and get after it. And we'll talk to you soon.